Hello and welcome. My name is Steve Cook and this is my second tutorial in my Mahout series, and this one is going to be going over the quick start created by Maciej Mazur for the Mahout website, and it's basically creating a user recommender in 5 minutes. The 5 minutes doesn't include the quick start, so I'll go ahead and I will go through the quick start, so this video will probably be longer than 5 minutes simply for that reason. Alright, so to get started, I'm going to assume you're using Eclipse and just a raw install, never used anything, nothing in it. So we'll start by installing Maven. And you can install Maven by going to Install New Software, and the link to that software, if you Google M2 Eclipse download, you'll get to this page. Simply copy that link, go into Eclipse, click Add, M2 Eclipse, doesn't matter what you write there, and then paste that URL, hit OK, it'll search for it, hopefully find it within a few seconds. You want to install all of that, click Next. You only need to do this once, you won't need to do this repeatedly. Once you have M2 Eclipse installed, you can actually go ahead and start building Mahout from scratch if you'd like. So this will take a few minutes. I might pause this and come back after it's done. Alright, that's done. Didn't take very long. Click Next, agree to the license. And this is what also might take a while, so I'll pause it here. Alright, it finished and it wants to restart Java Eclipse. Alright, Eclipse is back up. So we'll go ahead and kill that, and what we're going to want to do is create a new other, and we're going to create a Maven project. And that's what M2 Eclipse gave us. So click Next, and we're just going to do a quick start. That's going to be the easiest. If you have a special one that you like, go ahead and use it. com.prediction marketing artifact ID, we'll just call it recommend app, and then click Finish. Now it'll go ahead and start creating things. Because I've got most of this already installed in my .m2 directory, yours will probably take a lot longer because it's got to download close to a gigabyte worth of libraries. But one thing that I constantly get when I use Maven is this warning, which is a build path issue. So go ahead and go right click on your project, go to Properties, Java Build Path. We're going to want to add a library, and a system library is what we're going to add. I use the default JRE7. If you've got other ones, you can use those. Finish, then remove that 1.5, hit OK, and boom, your warning's gone away. Now next, we're going to want to edit the pom.xml, and you can edit it within Eclipse if you're familiar with the POM editor there. I usually just go in right into the text and add the dependency for Mahout. And this you can get if you go to general downloads.html. You can copy this if you know what XML you want. It's pretty simple. So go back here, paste that. And then put the version, I'm going to do 0.9, just hard code it right in like that. Then I'm going to select all and Control I so everything's spaced nicely. Save it with Control S, close that. And the next thing we're going to want to do is go back to the data set. So basically we've done the quick start, the prerequisites are ready to go. First thing we're going to do is get the data set. It's a small little sample data set. If you've got your own bigger data set, you can go ahead and use that. You can use that Movie Lens data set that I showed you in the last tutorial. So we'll go ahead and make a data directory. Found a new folder, data, in that data directory, new file, and we'll call it dataset.csv. Now, if you're like me on a Windows box, this works on Linux or Mac, it opens an Excel file. I'm going to kill Excel, but if you drag and drop this CSV over to here, it'll just let you edit, paste that. Did I copy that? I guess not. Let's do it again. Copy and paste. All right. It's not that many. It's 4 users, a few per each. Control S to save it, kill it. Now we can go back to our new app. We've got the main here. Now he named it sample recommender with a main method. We called ours, what did we call it? We just called it app. So that's from the archetype, from Maven archetype. So we'll go ahead and just start copying things over. You can go ahead and read it as you go through it. It's good information. I'll kind of note things as we go through. Let's kill that side window. First thing is we know that this is no longer right. That's data. Since it's in that data directory, we can reference it that way. Let's see. So if we hover over that for a second and not click on it at the same time, we'll import that data model. We'll import the file data model there, and then we'll import the Java file, and then we'll add the exception. We'll just do a declaration. An IO exception is fine. Actually, let's just do that one, and we'll catch them all. All right, so we pasted that. That builds the data model from our data set. Pretty simple. That's usually the case with almost all the recommenders. Now we'll copy the user similarity, and this one uses the Pearson correlation similarity. If you watch my previous tutorials, I used the log likelihood and Tanimoto, which don't really use the ratings that people give. Pearson does. So we'll go ahead and use the Pearson similarity, and if you do Control-Shift-O, we're not using Hadoop, so we use the other one, the taste. That worked. User similarities done. Now we're going to build the user neighborhood, and this is the difference. If you watch the other one, it was an item based. This one is a user based, and we want to build a user neighborhood. And we can do Control-Shift-O again. There we go. So now we can build the recommender. We have the user neighborhood, we have the user similarity, and we from our data model. So we'll copy that. Paste it here, like that new line there, so we'll go ahead and hit return there. Control-Shift-O, that includes them. And then we'll copy this over. Control-C, Alt-Tab, Control-V, no, there, Control-V. Now we got an error, and so we specified a list, but we didn't tell what kind of list, and it's actually a list of recommended items. We can tell that from right there. So one, we want to import the recommended item class, and then we also want to do a Java util list. There we go. No errors. And I think so. We've just built a recommender. Think so? Let's try it. Got that. Let's go ahead and run it in Eclipse and see what happens. That's the class we want to run. Hey, we got it. There it is. So there's we got the user recommend. We got 3 recommendations for user 2. So that was actually pretty easy, wasn't it? That's all that it takes. So that is making a recommender. But now we want to know how good a recommender we made. The other thing. Oh, you know what? If you watch the previous video. These errors are kind of annoying. I used a NoOp, and so I'll throw that in here too, just to show you how. We'll just call it live, and we'll drag and drop the NoOp, SLF4J NoOp, right into live, and then we'll go ahead and add that to our build path. And so now when we run it, here, click in here and run it. We don't get those errors, which is nice. Not errors, I guess log messages. We don't get those log messages. Alright, so let's go to the second part of the tutorial, which is evaluating. So it says to test it, we're going to build an evaluation. This one uses an average absolute difference, which is alright. So let's go ahead and do that. Go into Eclipse, go into here, create a new class. And we're going to call that one Evaluate Recommender. Evaluate Recommender. We're going to also include a main in that one. Finish. And there it is. We'll get rid of that. And we'll go back to the tutorial. So within that, we're going to build a class that implements that, which is class MyRecommender. So we'll go back and down here, we'll do class MyRecommender. Builder implements recommender builder. Let's not add them. No, let's see. All right. So within this, we want to copy this stuff. So what this does is creates the similarity, builds the user neighborhood. Is that right? Yeah, something like that. All right, go back here and paste that in here. Oh, forgot to do this. Public recommender, build recommender, data model, and it throws taste exception. Boom. Control-Shift-O. We don't want the Hadoop version. There. That's what we wanted. Important to include that. The build recommender is when you implement that, that's one of the required. Let's see. So go back. Did that. Now we have to put this in the main directory. In the main method. Control-Shift-O. And the exceptions. Just exception. Catches that one too. All right. And I think that's it. If we go back, yep, that's what he says. So this takes 10% out of the model to evaluate it. And we can run that. Click in there so that we're running that main. And we failed. Why did we fail? Ah, we didn't change the data set. You know what, I did that last time too. So data, dataset.csv. Now run it. Evaluate recommender. We got not a number first shot. Since it's such a small data set, it actually comes out with not a number a lot. So what this says is from the 10% that we tested, we evaluated, we averaged the average error that we were guessing was 0.195, so almost 0.2. That's pretty good. Let's run it again. We get something. Oh, we were way wrong. But that's such a small data set. It's hard to take 10% of that away and give a good evaluation. So that number changes wildly just because of the small data set. So we're getting close and getting close. And so that's basically how you would create a user recommender in 5 minutes. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section. Thanks. Bye-bye.